How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be continuing my Sharks of Summer series. Sharks of Summer is a series I do around here where during the summer I try to cover a bunch of shark movies. And today we actually have a new one with a decent budget behind it. It's called The Devil's Mouth, and it just came out July 29th, 2026 on Amazon Prime Video. The movie was directed by Jeff Wadlow. He's best known for Cry Wolf, but he also did Truth or Dare, the movie with the goofy smiles. He did Blumhouse's Fantasy Island, and also that 2024 movie Imaginary with that teddy bear character. I never saw that one, but I was kind of curious about it. This movie stars Kathryn Newton, who you guys may know as the girl from Paranormal Activity Part 4. Also starring is Lana Condor, Nico Hyriga, and Gavin Casalegno. And I guess I should start off by talking about new, moderately budgeted shark movies. I cover a lot of shark movies on this channel, and most of them are like tiny, micro-budget things, and I've seen a lot of terrible shark movies. But I always have a little bit of hope whenever I hear like, hey, they're actually putting some budget into this bigger shark movie. Every now and then, I mean like once in a blue moon, you get The Shallows or The Meg or 47 Meters Down. Sometimes you get a good new one. It's not very often, but it could happen. But it is far from a guarantee. When you have a higher budget, you'll get better production values, you'll get better acting, and you'll get significantly better cinematography. The movie will look good, but sadly it's usually not that much better than the low-budget movies as far as plot and characters go. The acting's fine, but I didn't really get to know any of these characters, and I had a hard time caring about anything that happened to them. And this whole, like, plot going into, like, a cave system and then the shark is going to get you, that should have been cool. But again, the writing's not that developed. We don't get cool, unique sequences in this cave, and this cave sadly turns super dark and super monotonous. And I was really hoping for fun, cheesy moments, but that's the big thing. That's what a lot of higher budget shark movies don't give you, that lower budget shark movies will often do, and that's the cheese factor. For the first 2 acts of this movie, it's serious and boring and monotonous and not really much is happening. The shark takes forever to show up, and I found myself pushing the button to pull up the play bar and seeing how much longer I had left in the movie. But the movie's saving grace is that somewhere around that 3rd act mark, the shark shows up a lot more. The shark is the star of the show. He's a big, dumb, obviously CGI shark, but he's incredibly aggressive, and towards the end he'll be running around, bashing into stuff, grabbing at people aggressively. There's even this super dumb sequence towards the end of the movie where there's a bunch of bats in the cave and the shark is literally diving out of the water and snatching up the bats in midair. That's the cheesy, dumb shark movie I want, and I'm glad we got that towards the end. Overall, the movie's passable. The first 2 acts are kind of monotonous, but when you get to the end, you do get a little bit of what I'm looking for in a cheesy shark movie. Again, the first 2 acts trying to be serious. If we did have a good serious shark movie, I would absolutely love that too, but it's just underdeveloped and not interesting. Overall, I can give it a kind of soft recommendation, especially for that ending. And Kathryn Newton's good as always. It's okay enough, and if you guys don't see a bunch of shark movies like I do, and if you're a little bit shark-starved, you might like this one okay, but again, don't get your hopes up. But I do want to rant about a few points in this one. There's just a lot of stuff in here that bugs me, and I do want to break down and analyze a few things. So from here on out, I'll talk a little bit about the plot, mostly setup, and I'll try not to do any major spoilers. But from here on out, let's take a bit of a deeper dive. And I have to say, right off the bat, we're gonna get into a really bad pacing issue. This movie opens up with Kathryn Newton, her best friend, and then like 3 of their other friends. And it turns out her best friend is like really good at talking people into doing things. And she's not supposed to be able to rent this party boat, but she does anyway. They go out, they party for a bit, and then they actually drive off and leave Kathryn Newton in the water. And the second she realizes they're gone, jellyfish pop out, and it's almost like they were waiting to ambush her or something. And the whole jellyfish sequence is just silly. It's dumb, but again, if you want dumb entertainment, that's there. But the thing is, they realize they left her, they turn around, they grab her, and then the boat does not go to the sharks. They return back to the island where they're all vacationing, and this whole thing was a dumb side adventure that's not related to anything. Honestly, I bet you the people who made the movie would have probably loved to have cut it, but Kathryn Newton has jellyfish stings all over her, and if you cut the scene, people will be wondering what the makeup's about. So yeah, we open with a little detour that takes way too much time and doesn't add much to the movie. Later that night, they'll talk on the beach and they try to set up the characters. Kathryn Newton lives in New York, her friend's there as well, but her friend has a job opportunity in Los Angeles, and now she's gonna move away, and they don't know if they're gonna be separated or if Kathryn Newton has to put down her life and go live with her best friend on the other side of the country. And okay, that's a good conflict. The only problem is I don't know these characters. Yeah, this thing might threaten to destroy this friendship that I know nothing about, and honestly, the only thing that we saw them do is we saw her best friend leave her to the jellyfishes. I mean, that was an accident, but maybe if instead we had saw these 2 friends go on a cool best friend adventure, then maybe I would care it was breaking apart, but at the end of the day, I just don't care for these characters, and they don't give me any moment to care. They don't give me anything fun or charismatic or unique. Nothing that makes me want to cling on to them, and so much of the writing asks us to care about these 2, and it's just sadly kind of hard. After this, there is a skinny dipping scene, but it's shot super aggressively PG-13 that it really does take you out of the movie with the odd camera angles. But they find a sea turtle bitten by a shark, and honestly, this is the point the movie should have started. Cut out the jellyfish and just start with the bad omen. That would have saved us a lot of time. But all this pushed aside, we're gonna finally start the movie now. They're going to go scuba dive in the Devil's Mouth, and the best friend character naturally talks the instructor into taking the dangerous way. He doesn't want to take them because there was a storm recently, and there's a bunch of like wreckage there apparently. But you know, this is a horror movie, they're asking for their downfall. And from here is a good point to mention 2 other major flaws with the movie. When we go into the cave, they're paddling these little boats in, and the movie's like, look, it's so fun. They're riding in boats and now they're scuba diving. And the movie doesn't really get that watching someone do something fun isn't as fun as actually doing it yourself. And again, we got that when they were partying on the boat. Oh, look, wouldn't it be fun to go scuba diving? Yeah, I guess. But just watching these characters do diving isn't really that interesting. The second thing is the caves themselves. They make a big deal about how, like, the Devil's Mouth is like stalactites, but because of the reflection, it looks like teeth. And they come across one and they're like, oh no, it's not that one. The real Devil's Mouth is more impressive. And then you get to it and it's like, fine, I guess. They keep cutting back to this like map of the caves, and they're like, look at all these different and unique rooms of the caves. And no, they're just a bunch of rooms that all look like caves. I mean, one of the caves, they're like, oh, there's like a old-timey city and skeleton bones down there, but you don't really get a good look at it. So all the caves run together, they all just look like caves, they all look incredibly dark, and they try to be like, oh, this is the honeycomb caves. It's really thin, a shark might have a hard time getting through there. And they try to set up a few gags in a few places, but again, the caves just look like the caves. It's dark, monotonous, monotonous, and again, the shark takes forever to show up, and that's part of what makes this movie boring. Combine the slow cave stuff with how little I care about these characters. Yeah, they all have their own bits, they all have their own little bit of drama, they have a little bit of quips, but I never feel like I get to know the characters. They don't stand out, they don't have enough personality or story moments. Maybe cut the opening and push getting to the caves back and think of some story that actually tells us about all the characters. That might have worked. But as I said, these first 2 acts are just super slow and super boring. It starts to eventually heat up. People do start to die and they start to debate like, oh, so-and-so's bleeding, they have a wound, they might not be able to do all this stuff. And should we go this way? That might be quicker, but it's more dangerous with the shark, and we'll get like climbing on rocks and stuff like that. That's all a fun little bit of a heat up, but again, not great. It's not till the shark shows up and suddenly gets really big and really dumb and really aggressive out of nowhere. Again, it feels like the movie making a super abrupt turn, and it's not an abrupt turn towards a good, polished, tense thriller. It's an abrupt turn to goofy fun. But when dumb CGI shark takes the spotlight, at least we are going to have a few fun moments. And from there, that's the part that I wound up really liking. So overall, a heavily flawed movie that takes a while to get going, but with decent acting, decent production values, and a little bit of shark cheese at the end to make it all kind of worth it. Overall, it's not something I can highly recommend. Maybe someone on YouTube will make a compilation of silly moments from this movie. That might be the better way to check this out. I wish the cheesiness had swept through the whole thing, or that they had wrote this better and made it a good actual dramatic thriller. Gray, dark, monotonous caves, but eventually our old friend the CGI overly aggressive shark will show up and provide a little bit of saving grace. Overall, I'm curious what you guys thought of it. Was the cheese at the end enough to save it? Did you even get to the end? And how often do you watch other shark movies? Are you like me and you watch a bunch of dumb B-sides, or do you only see the bigger ones? I am curious what you guys thought of it, and if you want to, let me know in the comments all your opinions. I really am glad to hear from you guys. All that being said, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching, and to everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You guys really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom if you guys want to see me talk about more shark movies. Feel free to click right here and you can see a whole bunch more. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Playlist here. Have a good day now.